Take them, they're useless and free. The human looked again and decided. Beginning, the market of broken things. The twin suns of Arthur's prime hung low on the horizon, casting long amber shadows across the metallic dunes. Beneath them stretched the bizarre broken things, a sprawling marketplace built from scraps of starships, shattered androids, and dreams long forgotten. It was said that here, you could find anything or lose everything. Captain Alara Quinn had come to do both. Her boots crunched over the rusted floor panels as she walked between the stalls. Vendors called out in 50 different languages, some human, some alien, others only half recognizable to her translator implant. She was looking for something rare, something powerful, something alive. Alara was a scavenger captain and ex-smuggler, one of the few remaining humans in this part of the Orion sector. Her ship, the Eidolon, was falling apart. Her crew was tired. And the galaxy, after centuries of human expansion, had turned its back on Earthkind. Artificial species now ruled the stars. Humans were seen as primitive, impulsive, and obsolete. Alara's credits were almost gone. She had one last job. Find a rumored piece of technology called the Ecliptic Core, an ancient power source said to predate even the Galactic Union. With it, she could restore her ship and maybe, just maybe, save her dwindling crew. But as she searched the market, she came upon a strange stall. Unlike the others, this one was silent. A glowing sign above it flickered with 3 words in alien script. Her translator whispered the phrase into her mind. Take them, they're useless. Behind the counter sat a hooded alien trader, old and tired looking, and in front of him stood 3 figures, humanoids. Each looked about her size, each wearing tattered clothing, their eyes dull and lifeless. Alara frowned. Androids. The trader let out a rasping laugh. No, humans, from one of your lost colonies, abandoned in cryopods. No one wants them. Alara froze. Humans? Here. He nodded. Found them drifting near the edge of the Perseid Rift. Tried to sell them, but the buyer said they were obsolete. No neural interfaces. No cybernetic enhancements. Pure organics. He leaned forward. So I'm giving them away. Alara blinked, unsure she heard correctly. Giving them away? The alien shrugged. Take them, they're useless. And free. She looked at the 3 figures. One was a man, dark-skinned and broad-shouldered, with a scar down his cheek. Another was a woman with silver hair and mechanical eyes, though not cybernetic, more like replacements. The third was a young boy, maybe 15, thin and frightened, clutching a metal toy. Something about them tugged at Alara's chest. She had seen too much suffering in the galaxy to be surprised anymore. But this felt wrong. She turned to leave. She didn't need the distraction. She needed the Ecliptic Core. But then the man spoke. Wait, he said quietly, his voice rough from disuse. You're human. She stopped. Slowly, she turned back. The man's eyes, tired, sunken, locked onto hers with something between hope and disbelief. No one else looks like us anymore, he whispered. Please don't leave us here. Alara hesitated. Her instincts told her to walk away. But her heart, the part of her that still remembered Earth, blue oceans and rain on steel rooftops, refused. I'll take them, she said finally. The trader grinned. They're yours. No refunds. Middle, the ghost ship, back aboard the Eidolon. Alara's crew wasn't pleased. Captain, you did what? Snarled Taro, her insectoid engineer. His mandibles clicked in disbelief. We're low on supplies. And you brought aboard 3 organics? They'll eat through our food reserves in a week. They're human, Alara replied flatly. Like me? Exactly my point, muttered Rin, the ship's AI avatar, materializing beside her in a holographic shimmer. Humans are inefficient, emotional, and fragile. You know what happens when you let sentimentality dictate command decisions. Alara ignored the AI and looked at the 3 rescued humans, now sitting quietly in the cargo bay. Let's get your names. The man straightened up. My name's Cade. Used to be a defense officer before the war. What war? She asked. The collapse war, said the woman with the silver hair. Between the Union and the old worlds. I'm Marin, a medic. This boy is Jace, my son. Alara's eyes narrowed. That war ended 100 years ago. Cade looked confused. Impossible. We were put into stasis just before. He stopped, realization dawning. You've been asleep, Alara said softly. For a century. They stared at her, horror and grief passing between them. A century gone. Everyone they knew, dead. Everything they remembered, lost. For the next few days, the ship hummed through space. Alara tried to focus on finding the Ecliptic Core, but her mind kept returning to the humans. Kay began helping in the engine room, repairing systems even Taro had given up on. Marin spent her time tending to minor injuries among the crew. And Jace, the boy, was fascinated by everything. He followed Rin's hologram like a shadow, asking endless questions about the galaxy. They weren't useless, Alara realized. Far from it. But the galaxy didn't see it that way. When the Eidolon stopped at the refueling station of Nareen 9, the station's overseer refused some docking rights. Humans on board? The overseer said through the comms. That's a contamination risk. Get them off your ship, Captain. Alara clenched her fists. They're not cargo. They're people. Not according to Union registry. The overseer replied coldly. No cyber signatures. No genetic licenses. They're unregistered primitives. You want fuel, you dump them. Alara cut the transmission. Rin's hologram flickered beside her. We can't keep running, Captain. Without fuel, we'll be stranded in deep space. Ilera turned to look through the viewport at Cade, Marin, and Jace, sitting quietly in the mess hall. Then we'll find another way. But the next night, something unexpected happened. A signal came through, encrypted, human origin code, the kind no one had used in centuries. It read, "We know you have survivors from the old worlds. Bring them to us. We can help." Coordinates attached. Rin traced the signal. "It's coming from Sector 9, the graveyard belt." Ilera frowned. That region was infamous. Thousands of derelict ships floating in orbit around a dead moon. Pirates, scavengers, and worse. "Could be a trap," she said. "Or," said Cade quietly, "it could be home." Ilera made her decision. Set course for Sector 9. Middle, the graveyard belt. The Eidolon descended into belt, weaving between skeletal remains of ships. Static filled the comms. Faint blue energy flickered across the debris, like lightning trapped in glass. They arrived at the coordinates, an enormous structure half buried in the moon's shadow. It was unmistakably human design, blocky industrial, built before the sleek alien aesthetics had taken over. As they docked, a voice crackled through the speakers. "Welcome to the Sanctum of Soul. Identify yourself." Ilera hesitated. "Captain Ilera Quinn of the Eidolon. I brought survivors from the old worlds." Silence. Then the airlock opened. Armed figures appeared. Humans. Dozens of them. Real humans, not androids. Their uniforms bore an insignia Ilera had only seen in history archives. The Terran Restoration Front. An older man stepped forward, his hair white as ash. "You actually found them," he said in awe. "Cryo survivors. We thought they were lost forever." He turned to Cade, Marin, and Jace. "Welcome home." They were led inside the base, a vast underground facility powered by fusion cores, filled with human engineers, scientists, and children. Ilera felt something stir in her chest. Something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Over dinner, the leader, Commander Darius Holt, explained everything. After humanity's fall from the galactic stage, small enclaves had survived, hidden from the Union. The Restoration Front's goal was simple: to rebuild what was lost. "But we need the ecliptic core," Darius said. "The power to restart the Soul Gate. A wormhole back to Earth." Ilera's eyes widened. "That's what I've been looking for." He smiled. "Then perhaps fate brought you here." But not everyone in the base was happy. Some whispered that bringing outsiders, especially one allied with alien tech, was dangerous. Others distrusted the idea of reawakening Earth's legacy. The galaxy had moved on. The Union would never allow humanity to rise again. That night, Ilera couldn't sleep. She stood on a balcony overlooking the barren moon. Cade joined her. "You don't owe us anything," he said. "You've already done more than anyone else would." Ilera shook her head. "I didn't bring you here out of charity. I brought you because I think the galaxy's wrong about us. We're not obsolete." Cade smiled faintly. "Then help us prove it." Climax, the decision. The next day, alarms blared across the base. Rin appeared on Ilera's wrist hologram. "Captain, the Union fleet has entered the system. They've traced our signal." Panic spread. Darius barked orders, but was too late. Massive ships emerged from hyperspace, sleek in silver, their hulls emblazoned with the Union insignia. By decree of the Galactic Union, boom the transmission. The human enclave is in violation of genetic containment protocols. Surrender immediately or face extermination. Ilera's blood ran cold. Darius turned to her. "You have the fastest ship here. Take the ecliptic core prototype and escape. Keep humanity's hope alive." "I won't leave you to die," she said. "Then humanity dies with us," he replied. "You have to choose." Before she could argue, explosions rocked the facility. The Union troops had landed. Cade grabbed her arm. "Ilera, take Jace. Get him out of here." Marin nodded, tears streaming down her face. "He's our future." Ilera didn't have time to think. She scooped up the terrified boy and ran with him toward the docking bay. Union drones swarmed the corridors, firing plasma bolts. Rin hacked the doors ahead, guiding her through. Behind them, Cade and Marin fought to hold the line. When Ilera looked back, she saw the explosion engulf them, their silhouettes framed in the firelight. They were gone. Ilera and Jace reached the Eidolon. The ship roared to life, engines screaming as it broke through the chaos into open space. Union cruisers opened fire, but the Eidolon was too fast, weaving through the debris field. "Captain," Rin said gravely, "we can't outrun them forever." Ilera looked at the glowing orb in her hand. The ecliptic core, pulsating like a living heart. "Then we make them see," she said. She turned the ship toward the Union flagship. "Are you insane?" Rin shouted. "Maybe," Ilera said, "but so were the first humans who touched the stars." She slammed the core into the ship's energy matrix. Light erupted, brilliant, blinding, expanding outward like a sun being born. The Union ships faltered, their systems crashing. The explosion consumed the belt, but at its center, the Eidolon vanished, ending the new dawn. When Ilera opened her eyes, everything was quiet. The Eidolon floated above a blue planet. The sensors beeped softly. Atmosphere, breathable. Oceans, abundant. Life signatures, human compatible. Jay stumbled to her side, wide-eyed. "Where are we?" Ilera smiled through tears. "Home." The stars outside glowed differently. The constellations were older, familiar. They had done it. The ecliptic core had opened the wormhole and brought them back to Earth. As they descended to the clouds, Ilara looked down at the ruins of ancient cities, now reclaimed by nature. Humanity was gone, but not forever. We'll rebuild, she whispered. Jace looked up at her. What about the others? She hesitated. We'll remember them. Always. The Eidolon touched down on a grassy plain. For the first time in centuries, human feet stepped on Earth again. Ilara planted the ecliptic core into the soil. Its light spread across the ground, seeding energy into land. Flowers began to bloom in the dust. Behind her, the boy said quietly, They said we were useless. Ilara smiled. Then they were wrong.